Yep, we're live.
Sounds good.
I'm just gonna stay here for a moment before I move over to make sure people show up.
Where's my telephone? There it is.
Pamela's here. Okay.
People's here. Nice.
And bingo's been shared, and that's me sharing the bingo.
Bingo was his name. Oh.
B-I-N-G-O.
Welcome everybody who is currently watching to the Genus Brewing a live stream. A live stream we do absolutely every single Sunday, no exceptions, and I am always here.
Hello.
Today we're talking about some stuff, but if you haven't seen the show, usually we go over some Genus Brewing news, general whereabouts in the beer industry or the Genus world or whatever. While people start to log on, then we talk about a style of the week, which today is a super, super secret and definitely not in the title. And then we go into some discussion topics. Today we're going to go into brunch beers and what I like to feed myself / my wife on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
First of all, let me find our live stream so that I can talk to you. Genus Brewing.
Well, then I'm gonna move my tablet over more
Great beer.
so I can see you guys.
Pamela Hockla, good morning. Nathan McVeigh, good morning. Daniel, good morning. All right. Genus Brewing news. We won the Valley Cup.
It came down to a tie and then a 7-person blind taste to.
For the who was the victor?
Yep. And even out of that 7-person blind taste, it came down to 1 vote.
Wow.
So second place was Barry, so I'm going to say a huge shout out to V-Twin.
Yeah, good job, Barry. Good job, V-Twin. Great job, us, if you don't see the cup behind us. Yeah, it was really fun to get, honestly, everyone collaborative and working in the beer community to make something really fun. So I'm excited to see what happens next. And whenever we do the next Valley Cup, I think that means we get to pick the style.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm hoping that you guys go a little weird, but not too weird.
Yeah, I've already got some ideas. All the fish beers. Jung Yak Yo, good morning. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that.
Woot.
Woot woot. We're making bread beer. Patrick Sandy, it's coming. So we have the bread beer video pretty much done, or the making bread video pretty much done. We got caught up with some other things, and so it's been taking a little bit longer than we thought. The actual beer is going to be made later on this week. So we'll get that video done. We'll probably have both those videos out around the same time next week.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, is that saying you being out of the country for a little bit and then coming back?
Yeah, a big part of it was me being gone. Adam Chumley sent us a potato cannon. Thank you for that, Adam Chumley.
And we will. The rest of the Genus employees were very, very happy with that.
Yeah, we got to find something. We got to find a way to use that, maybe with a squishy hop, like Trube or whatever like that. Maybe like make a little hop ball.
Yeah, I could see that. And then are we just going to go over to the school to shoot at each other?
No, we're just going to go to random elementary schools. Not a school that I work at, and just potato cannon some kids. So thank you so much for that. And then also 5-barrel live brew day with special outfit. Stefan Stoudemire also is in the works of being planned right now. Hayden Ingram also just caught a shiny Zorua. Good job, Hayden. Just shouted that out on the live stream. Good job. Perfect. For those of you who don't know, the potato cannon and the bread beer video and the soon-to-be 5-barrel live brew day with special outfits are all for people who have bought stuff for us on our Amazon wish list, which is in the description below if you want to check that out. Basically how it goes is you pick something and buy it, and then you say, hey, I want this video to be made. And if it's depending on how much you buy, the world could be your oyster in terms of what videos you make. And if you buy something super expensive, we might even fly to you and shoot a video with you. I don't know. There's no upper limits.
Yeah, and let me know in the Discord. I'm throwing the link for the Discord into the chat real quick, but let me know in the Discord.
Matt's the one that organizes it, makes sure that things actually get done.
Someone has to here.
That's right.
We know it's not you and Tim.
Definitely not. I got my brain in too many different directions. Washington Beer Fest. By the way, we're sending a group over there. If you're in the Seattle area and you want to get some beer from us and maybe even support us going over to Washington Beer Fest, that is something that we're going to have Sky talk about a little bit later. But we're going to have a small Genus crew going over to Washington Beer Fest, and they could potentially bring some extra Genus stuff. So let us know.
I'm planning to head over And then next weekend, I'm also planning to go down to Sunnyside. So if anyone that wants to go to Varietal Sunnyside can meet up with me there too.
Yeah.
So
there is the end of our. Do we have anything else? What's up? What else is in the beer world, in the Genus newsing world?
In the beer world,
Spokane beer world.
The biggest news is Natural 20 got that new space that you guys will have seen pictures of because Tim and Reese brewed.
Yeah.
So
that's out on our Instagram. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Natural 20 is taking over the old Hidden Mother location, so they get to brew on a 6-barrel that can also double batch into a 12-barrel, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds about right. And really cool location.
Yeah. And that's where we're going to be doing our 5-barrel live brew day. So you'll get to see it soon enough.
Yep. The Valley Cup, the Valley Cup was based off of, Leicester Cup announced their winner yesterday.
Nice.
Which was Black Label, who out of the 8 times, their first win.
Nice. Good job, Black Label.
With their delicious hoppy red.
Black Label would also be a fun brewery to do an event with because they're right next to Uncle's. Is that what it's called?
Merlin's,
which is a game shop, and they do cards and comic books and all the things that game shops do. And so they're a fun brewery to go to because you can just go over, buy some Pokemon cards, and play Pokemon while you drink.
Yep. And I've already talked about getting Dan and Steve on to live stream at some point in time.
That'll be fun.
I have a nice big list of live stream people.
Yeah.
And speaking of Washington Beer Fest, we might be doing, because I'm going to be over in Redmond, Tim's going to be in Florida, so it's Peter here alone.
Yeah.
So we might actually I might do the live stream from the Beer Fest.
We'll figure that out.
Yep, that is an idea that's been proposed.
We will, I don't know, we'll see how it goes, and we'll see if we can get the right equipment to make that happen.
And thank you, Steph.
Yes. What's in the fermenters at the moment? That's a Tim question. And Tim's not here, but he might be here a little bit later.
I'm trying to think if there's anything new that I didn't drink last week. We have the
new Electric Blue Lemonade seltzer came on. I don't know if that was on last week, but
yeah. We got the Drew Blue from the Pilsner.
Yeah.
So that's
we're bringing on some guest taps because we're running out of beer because we're selling a lot of beer. Go us.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could think of worse problems to have.
Yeah. I think that runs us through all our topics for the week, which brings us on to our Beer of the Week. Beer of the Week. Yeah. Which today is Mexican Light Lagers. It's actually a really fun style that's not part of the BJCP style. It categorizes, but it should be. And we're going to go over a little bit of why later. So to give you guys a brief general rundown of what a Mexican Light Lager is, it is a weird conglomerate of German-style beers that originally ended up being brewed down in Mexico in the early 1900s, and they kind of got adapted into their own subset of styles that were gross macro lager-esque, and they took a very distinct turn. So Mexican lagers are very different than their German or American counterparts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say that this is, I was going to say, one reason we're doing this because Cinco de Mayo just happened, and I definitely know I drank a Mexican lager or two that day.
I also just got back from Mexico, so I drank exactly one Mexican light lager, and that is all.
You drank a lot of other stuff, didn't you?
No. I drank some Mexican light lagers. I drink a lot of beers. Some Mexican light lagers originally, if you've probably heard of Dos Equis, the amber is actually the original stylish of Mexican light lager. It actually came from the Vienna lager style. Mm-hmm. So there's usually a amber colored Mexican light lager and a light colored Mexican light lager that come out of a lot of the macro breweries that make Mexican light lagers. But they all have one thing, well, they all have a couple things in common, but the one most prominent thing for you as brewers to know is that almost all of them have a very high corn adjunct load.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's mostly flaked corn, right? Or
flaked corn is the easiest. I mean, that's the most accessible one, and that's what most commercial breweries will use these days is some flakies.
Okay.
Mexican brewing traditions and a quick history of Mexican. I stole this, by the way, from. Here's a quick. It's an art. Since it's not a BJCP style, I just printed off an article from Silver City Brewing.
I think so.
I'm gonna go with Silver City Brewing. It's listed here somewhere.
I was gonna say it is whichever brewery has the brewer Brody Pierce.
Silver Bluff, is that right?
Maybe.
Yeah, Silver Bluff.
Silver
Bluff.
Right. Yep.
Anyways,
we can read.
Very good at reading. So I'm gonna steal the quick history that they wrote. Forgive me if it's slightly off because I didn't write it and have done no extra research on it, other than knowing that the original German breweries that made it to Mexico developed the style originally off of the Vienna lager. But quick Mexican brewing traditions and quick history of Mexican lager. As early as the 900 BC and 500 BC, Mayans in Mexico were brewing complex flavored fermented chocolate drinks, which we all know about. And for over 1,000 years, Mexicans have been drinking pulque, a drink similar to beer brewed with a fermented sap containing maguey, which is agave, plants that could get over 6% ABV. So actually, that's pretty high for
that time period.
Yeah, old world styles. Also in this time period, fermented corn and honey beverages were common in Mexico, and Tesquino, alcoholic corn drink, and tepache, fermented honey beverage, which, by the way, if you haven't watched the Brew Show's tepache video, it's kind of a fun, easy way to get into starting to make tepache, are still brewed by historic brewers in Mexico. I'm going to take a drink of beer because beer's good.
And then, however, the origin from the most common references to Mexican lager is the 19th century when Austrian and German immigrants settled in Texas and Mexico. The beer recipes they brought with them were closer to the Vienna lager, as we mentioned, than Clara for a few years. Vienna and Vienna lagers brewed with maize were the standard and popular commercial Mexican beer brewing.
Yeah. In the last decades of the 1800s, these immigrants were led by Maximilian of Mexico, German-Austrian origin, and he most notably is the brewer that brewed Vienna and darker lagers, again, the origin of the OG. So you got like the Dos Equis Negro, which is the more traditional one.
I'm going to pause real quick. Reverend KY is sending us goodies this coming week or two.
Reverend KY, what's up? Get those labels in quick.
Yeah, I'm excited for them. And Reverend, don't forget to label them, Matt.
That's right.
So that way they don't accidentally just drink all of them.
Yeah, that might happen anyway.
I was going to say, hey, I've been doing a good job of hiding the good stuff so you guys don't drink it.
Many small breweries in these decades were open and focused on Vienna and similar style lagers. In 1890, Cerveceria Cuauhtémoc opened a brewery, opened and brewed a Czech Pilsner, and was the first larger brewery making beer at scale, utilizing wider-reaching rail systems that allowed the United States to malting equipment, yada, yada, yada. These beers, originally called Siglo XX, were later renamed Dos Equis Lager and Amber. So that's kind of the two introductions into the Mexican lager and the style that we know today world. Going back to my own notes, if you're going for general flavor profile or what you can get off Mexican light lagers, so we all know that there's going to be a high corn adjunct load.
Rivera said 20 or 30%.
20-30% corn, yeah, and I usually probably stick to about the 20% just because it's such a light load overall. That 20% is, I mean, it's still a good chunk, but overall the malt bill is going to be relatively low. So a little bit of corn shows a good amount, and then it also has a distinct brightness and sharpness. So unlike something like a Munich Helles or something that has like a German style lager that is going to ferment a kind of a fruitier profile that's going to create esters during fermentation, Mexican light lager will produce a little bit of sulfur and a little bit of minerality during fermentation that kind of sharpens it up.
Yeah, I was just talking to Dave at Mountain Lakes about that, how sulfur is actually not uncommon for the style.
Nope.
Compared to a lot of other styles of beer where it is a little bit more uncommon.
Yep, and so a little bit of, in a Mexican light lager, a little bit of hop sharpness is acceptable, but generally speaking, unlike something like a classic Czech Pilsner, you're not going to get a very hoppy flavor load.
Yeah, it's for me, I find like I enjoy a little bit more hop aroma rather than than hop flavor. Yeah, personally.
And if you're going to get anything, I like to use spicier hops. Mount Hood's kind of a classic go-to for me if I'm brewing a Mexican light lager. Just 'cause it's higher alpha, I can use less overall hops. But then something like Sterling's really good too. A little bit of lemon, a little bit of pepper.
I personally like some of those more lime forward ones.
Yeah. So you could do like one of the New Zealand triploids, like Wakatu or Waimea
or the God, what's the one that starts with
Motueka?
The one that starts with A that I always use.
I know Rakau.
Oh, Rakau. No, it's Rakau, yeah.
Starts with an R. Seven Sodomite. Hey, we were talking about you.
We are currently working on Stefan.
Yeah, we are scheduling it. We talked about it at the beginning of the thing. We're scheduling it right now, but it's
it might not be undies, but it'll be special outfits for sure.
It'll be there'll be
a lot of skin.
It'll be sexy, trust me. But we also have to be safe, so it's going to involve half-tight waders.
They will at least be shirtless.
Suspenders, duh.
Yep. And if it's done on a weekend, I might be poking my head in to help them out too.
That's not why you're poking your head in. Let's be honest.
No, it's because I get to see not only 2 sexy guys. I get to see, if we were doing it with Natural 20, I get to see 3 sexy guys.
Yeah. Tentacle, good morning.
Yep. Yeah. So
Mexican lagers brewed by macrobreweries in Mexico are extremely popular in the United States and worldwide. The Mexican lager style is controversial because it can refer to many different beers, but generally the reference to a clean lager with low bitterness and high clarity. Vienna lager is also a beer drinkers often think of when they're buying a new brand and they select from a portfolio, which is key to the macrobrewing marketing strategy. Don't know why that has to do with anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into Clara lager. Clara means clear or bright light lager, like Pacifico.
Yep.
So that's kind of where we go when we go to the Mexican light lagers. If you actually look, Dos Equis Amber is under the BJCP style guidelines as an example of a proper Vienna lager. But most Mexican light lagers are going to have a higher corn load. So they'll have the same amber color, but with a higher corn load, and so they'll taste cornier. So clear and Vienna are kind of the 2 styles of Mexican light lagers. And all this to say, it's not yet a BJCP style. However,
they do call out that they do feel that Mexican lagers deserve a couple categories for competitions themselves.
Yes, I think that I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Do you agree that Mexican light lagers deserve their own category in competition? / could they be a BJCP category? I sure do.
The answer is yes, they definitely do.
Mexican lager with a couple of subcategories.
Yep.
Right now we just kind of focus on a few big regions for beer. We're kind of ignoring a lot. Although the newest iterations of the BJCP have kind of opened up quite a bit.
Yeah, I was going to say it's mostly German. Then they kind of they do German and then lump European all together, and then American.
Yep.
And they are also chicken to call the black IPA should just be called Cascadian Dark Ales, but
yeah. Well, now they are saying that IPA is just like its own word, so it no longer means India Pale Ale. It just means IPA.
I'm actually kind of fine with that because I think that's where it's moved to anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Hey, Belgium. All right, let's go into topic number 1, which is a topic that a lot of people won't expect me to enjoy, but it's a topic that I enjoy, and that's brunch beers. And these are what I'm going to just call bastardized beers, with the exception of I made one exception for like a brunch beer that
I'm drinking what I would consider an exception for a brunch beer for
coffee kolsch.
Yeah.
Coffee. If it's got coffee in it, it's basically breakfast.
Yep, I was going to say, and we all know me and my love of coffee beers.
Yeah. We actually have a breakfast stout on tap, and so that's the one exception for a brunch beer that's not a bastardized beer that I would say is something you could use, but also a breakfast stout, the one that we have is nearly 8%. And so if you're going to do a brunch beer as like a breakfast stout, meaning it's got, some savory component, it's got coffee, it's got maple, it's got all those things that make you think breakfast. You should probably do a session one, like an Irish stout with some. Yeah,
I was gonna say, well, my session stout, even though I don't do coffee, I do the salted caramel milk stout.
Yeah,
which I need to rebrew that at some point in time.
And I would say that can categorize as a breakfast beer, especially if you're keeping it under, 5.5%.
Yeah,
and you're adding those breakfasty flavors.
I'm also going to say, as someone who's done a lot of brunches, I actually like a good clean lager, like a Pilsner or Kolsch,
Yeah.
Especially if I'm doing a spicier brunch to help counteract how spicy it can get. But
I'll go ahead and take into account jalapeno beers, but I think jalapeno beers with an egg breakfast can go pretty damn well.
Tanner, send us the beer and we'll try it.
Hell yeah! Who's sending us beer? Tentacle. Who is going? Oh, I got a Mexican lager I'd like you guys to try. Yeah, do it. Send it.
Oh, and Tanner, I'm going to Goat Fest. I'm going to Goat Fest. Or at least I'm planning to, assuming that my finances work out, because I had some major expenses that it needed to figure out first.
What is Goat Fest?
That's the one at Sunnyside at Bridal.
Okay, do they have goats there?
I don't know.
Can you bring me back a baby goat?
Do you want me to just call and have the goat delivery come out to you guys with your baby goat?
I do need a baby goat.
Okay,
so we're going to have a baby goat. It'll be the brewery goat, and I'll also keep it in my house because it's going to be cool. So bring a bottle to pass along.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And if you Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'll make sure I pack a small cooler in my car to throw beers into.
Yeah, everyone bringing beer to bring to us. All right, so real brunch beer number one, and a beer that Tim and I actually drink a lot more commonly than you probably think two people who make beer for a living do, is Micheladas. I don't know.
We drink them here.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys are fans of Micheladas out there, or if some of you think it's bastardization of beer. I know when I was first getting into the beer world and the brewing world, I thought of red beers or Micheladas as just, something that did not count in the beer world. But basically what a Michelada is, you take a nice light lager as, 80 to 90% of your base, and then you add in some sort of Bloody Mary mix. And traditionally, you'll take a Mexican light lager, and then you'll add in something that has a Bloody Mary base that is tweaked to offer some spice or some citrus or some extra flavors that make you think Mexican. Usually they have some sort of vinegar component to it as well. And so a Michelada definitely is that bright, like breakfasty, you should drink it with eggs and potatoes, all the heavy brunch stuff.
And we typically use Spiceology's spice mix when we make Micheladas here.
Yeah, we've got a really nice chili lime spice from Spiceology. Everyone go comment on Spiceology's Instagram and tell them to send us spices so we can do a collaboration with them.
I also have an in to get someone from Spiceology on the live stream.
Nice. Let's do it.
I was going to say, again, I've been busy.
He's been busy, getting busy, if you know what I don't know the answer to that, actually. We were talking about Micheladas. So, yeah. Micheladas, if I'm going to make my own Michelada mix, I'll generally start with something that's got a little bit more thickness to it. That way I don't mind thinning it out with other spices and or liquids if I need to. I really like hot sauce in mine. So mine personally starts with spicy V8. V8's got it's that thick vegetable, not just a classic tomato.
Yeah, no, I agree. As I was going to say, I don't like just the standard tomato juice Micheladas personally. I like, again, saying a little bit more base. Yeah,
a little bit more thick. And then you can add an actual like tapatio spice to it, or you can add a hot sauce that has a little bit of thinness, and then that kind of develops it. And you're going for only like 10%, so it's not like a classic like Bloody Mary where it's mostly tomato juice. You're trying to pack in as much flavor in a small component as possible to just flavor the beer. So 10% of something a little bit thicker is really good in a Michelada.
And what are we using as the base beer?
I like Mexican lagers.
Yeah, okay.
Any light beer is going to work, but Mexican light lagers are my favorite.
Yep. No, I agree. I would agree there.
If you want to get into favorite, Stone actually makes a lime Mexican light lager.
Oh, yeah.
So that one is great.
Actually, I'll see if I can have Tim bring their Mexican light lager that they did collab with Chini Brewing. The Ale Works.
Inland Ale Works?
Inland Ale Works. It actually is a lime.
Oh, nice.
So we might be able to have some Micheladas next weekend with Tim.
Other
Tim. Second.
Yeah.
We're going to have
multiple Timmies.
We're going to have Tim squared next weekend.
Yeah, 2 Tims. Yeah, chili lime spice, spicy V8, lime Mexican light lager. And if you ever go to Stone actually makes when I was down in San Diego, they probably made my second favorite Michelada that I had down there.
Yeah. By the way, Sean, that's the Valley Cup that we won behind us.
Because we're grand champions of the world.
That was announced Friday, and we won by one vote.
One vote.
One vote. And I was actually a toss-up between which brewery I was voting for, between the top two, as myself personally. So, but yeah.
But because his heart was in the right place, he voted for us.
This was the beer I could have a couple pints of and not be super upset, because usually, Peter can tell you, I don't drink the same beer twice in a row. Usually I kind of rotate my beers.
Daniel said I tried Tajín once, kind of gross because it didn't mix in. The best way to add Tajín, if you want Tajín to actually have some sort of flavor in a Michelada, is actually do a Tajín and salt rim. So 20% Tajín and like 80% salt is your kind of base, and you want flaky salt. Just get a nice rim in there, and then you can choose when you drink through Tajín and when you don't. I think that works out a lot better. Yep. If you want better than Tajín, Spiceology, chili lime seasoning works really, really well, and you can mix that in with the salt too. Flaky salt.
Yeah, and again, keep tagging Spiceology. Let them know that they need to come over and play with Genus.
That's right. Stefan Sotomayor freestyle recipe for a Mexican light lime lager. Absolutely. You're just going to start with a Pilsen base, and then you're going to go, so like let's say for a 5-gallon recipe, you're going to go 8 pounds of Pilsen, 2.5 pounds of corn, and maybe 2 ounces of acidulated malt, just for balanced water profile and all that.
Mm-hmm. And then if you and that's the very light Mexican lager.
That's the light version, not the amber version. It's the version that we would add if we were making a michelada from the Mexican light lager. I would probably ramp mash that, so I'd start at 140, ramp mash it up to 165 over the course of 4 hours or so when I'm doing something else. And then for the boil, I'd probably just go 0.5 ounces of Mount Hood as a 90-minute addition. I'm going to go a long boil on this because you want it to be shelf stable and have that macro quality. And I'll probably do a small addition towards the the last 10 minutes as well.
Also, Jimmy, please send me what that ginger hot sauce is, because it actually sounds amazing.
Let's do it. Let's just get Jimmy on too. We'll just make some micheladas with Jimmy's hot sauce next week on the live stream.
Next week we already have a guest.
Yeah, no, Jimmy doesn't need to be on the live stream. We're just
Jimmy, you can come down and hang out with me in the background.
Yeah, with Tim Squared.
Yep.
So we'll have Tim Squared. Tim Squared and me will be we'll all make micheladas and drink micheladas. Tim Squared and me will drink micheladas on the live stream.
And then me and Jimmy can hang out in the background and work through the beer fridge.
Yeah. Ginger goat. I like it.
Yeah.
Is that it on micheladas? Did I already say how to make a michelada? You guys know how to make a michelada, right? Brunch beer number 2. Brass Monkeys. Who's heard of a brass monkey out there? Raise your hand.
I was going to say, we actually have a brewery that makes a beer that's inspired by a brass monkey.
Yeah.
No lie.
On the, but we also have some brass monkeys that we can make that are good. Nothing against, I'm not trying to trash talk anybody. But, brass monkeys. There's actually, I have a secret to making really good brass monkeys. You start with a fuller-bodied light beer. So instead of just trying your Budweiser, Busch Light, whatever, I like to start with something like a Kolsch.
Yeah, I was gonna say a Kolsch.
Got a little bit of thickness to it.
Yeah, or a lighter wheat, I would say.
A lighter wheat, yeah, could work really well too. Or blonde ales, anything with the American final gravity that you're looking for, or a wheat beer that's gonna have like that 10-12 final gravity instead of. You got your light beers are going to be like 1004 to 1006 final gravity. And
I was going to say, I don't mind a little bit of haze. That's why I said wheat is anything that has a little bit of wheat, because it adds that little bit of haze too, a few extra proteins.
And I actually like the wheat beer idea for if you wanted to add any sort of.
By the way, you have one hair that's just.
There it is. Oh, Lisa.
Yep, I was going to say, that definitely looked like a Lisa hair.
It's either that or a Lachlan hair. My middle son has some long hair.
Oh, yeah, he does.
But my secret is if you start with something like that, something like a Kolsch that's got a little bit more full body, you actually add a splash of champagne as well. So you've got the thicker beer, and I think that would be where a wheat beer goes really well. Yeah. A little bit of champagne, and then you top off with the orange juice.
What about a brute beer? So you get a little bit of that champagne-y flavor already from the yeast. You
could start with a brute beer, yeah. Then I think you almost need to add something sugary with a fruit as well. Because the orange juice itself on a brute beer, it can get like a little bit disjointed.
Yeah, no,
I like the champagne as that kind of that middle ground that kind of blends.
That makes total sense there.
Plus it's high carbonation, so you get the little bubblies.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like but I love the champagne idea. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and then you can add flavors to it and, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Add a little, if you add a brewery that does a traditional
mimosa flight or something.
I was gonna say the syrups that you add for like Belgian sour beers.
Oh yeah,
like a little bit of the
Berliner Weissen sours.
Yeah.
So
add some syrups to it.
Yep. Yeah, I guess I got to go down to Black Label and have their brunch at some point in time and do a Brass Monkey with one of their beers.
Yeah. And Reverend K already went with the Beastie Boys reference.
Of course he did.
That funky monkey.
Oh, by the way, this is a Pilsner from the Industrious Ant.
The Industrious Ant. Is that a Spokane person or a not Spokane person?
I think that's a Spokane person.
Okay. Smells not bad.
Jimmy asked, would any Belgian styles work for a Brass Monkey?
I could see a Belgian Golden style working pretty well, yeah. I mean, there's a right way to probably do like a Belgian triple or a Belgian, like, a more funky, fruity Belgian. Mm-hmm. But I think there's got to be some middle ground between the orange juice and the beer. I mean, kind of like my idea with the champagne, too. I don't think champagne and light beer actually go well together as a lot of people think they do. I think people just kind of got used to the taste in college.
Yep. I was going to say, why do we have 3 different live streams open on this table?
We're just padding our numbers here. But yeah, I think a Bel like even a funkier Belgian style, like even like a double, could probably work if you had the right middle ground fruit to go with it.
Oh, that's why I had it open. Oh, well. I was going to share the Discord link.
To add the Discord, yeah.
If you need the Discord, just yell at me and I will get it posted somewhere.
So, Industrious Ant, if you were out there, this is a good beer. I wouldn't consider it a Czech Pilsner necessarily. I do think that I get some fruitiness off of it, the yeast character, there's some esterification that makes this a little bit fruitier of a beer, perceives sweeter. It's a good light lager. I could consider this maybe even more of a Micheladas.
I would agree definitely. As like when I brewed the Helles for the Brewer of the Year, that was this. This definitely reminds me a little bit more of that, without my flaws. Yeah, because I definitely fucked up that beer.
Yeah, I got. I mean, I can see that there's some minerality to it, but I don't think it's the right minerality for a Czech style Pilsner. And then just the sauciness isn't really coming through.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of want to know what your water profile was for it, if you even kept track of that.
Yeah. And with Saaz, it's unique. If you can get Saaz, it's like high total oils, but like 2.8%. That's the best Saaz you can use in a Czech style Pilsner. And you want to use more of it than you think. Like it's a relatively hoppy beer. And then you need a little bit of sulfate in there. The biggest thing with this that makes this, for me, more of like a Micheladas is just that the yeast esterification shows up more than any hop profile. Mm-hmm. And so you've got that full kind of sweet profile to it that just isn't Czech Pils. It's a good light lager, though. Speaking of Mexican lagers, because I tried a lot of them, this would be Tecate versus like a true Czech Pilsner would be like the Sol or something like that. Tecate's got that same German yeast sweetness. A little bit of banana to it.
I can see that, yeah. So, well, before we dive into questions, any other brunch beers or any other... I was gonna say because
you guys tell me what kind of brunch beers you guys like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and beer cocktails are becoming a thing. So
yeah, I actually did a beer cocktail with a wit beer, which was really really good.
Ooh, that actually would be good for the Brass Monkey. I think a wit.
A wit could be really good too. Yeah, but it's orange juice, grapefruit juice, I think.
Oh yeah, that would be So it would be not a true Brass Monkey. And stuff.
Another variation on the same kind of style. The wit cocktail that I made had a splash of grapefruit in it, I believe. It was like grapefruit bitters, gin, and wit beer, basically.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be really good.
It was fun.
I was gonna say I also like gin, so.
Stefan Stoudemire, freestyle, Leffe, blonde, alike without special B. All right, give me a second. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Leffe, blonde.
And Revan KY, that I actually agree that wasabi in a cider is actually works because of the sweetness of the cider. There.
I am excited to get some.
Oh, Pamela, fruity beers as brunch beers. So actually, some of the more fruity or sweeter kettle sours. Mm-hmm. I could see definitely being good for brunch there, especially if you mix it with like orange juice or some of the other juices out there. And actually, a standard Berliner Weizen with a little bit of that syrup, I could see that being a decent brunch beer.
For sure. Stefan, I'm just looking up, I'm trying to get alcohol percentage and stuff that I got to go for. Okay. All right, freestyle Leffe Blonde recipe. First of all, I'm going to be process driven on this, and so I'd actually say this would be a fun style to do a partial decoction on. I would still try to do overall a ramp mash start at 142 and end up 165. But what I would do on this particular style is I would go pretty much 100% Halcyon with maybe a splash of acid malt, and I would try to make the entire thing from Halcyon because I think that's just a better, fuller malt for this style of beer. I would then take a chunk of that, 20% of the overall mash load, 20% of the grist, and I'd bring that into a separate pot to boil. And I'd boil that for about 20 to 25 minutes during the ramp mash while I'm ramp mashing it back up. Then I would add that in for my mash out. This would be after conversion, so I'd be 142 up to probably 150 in the first hour, and then at that 150, that's when I would take out the 20% of the grist, and then while I continue to ramp mash the rest of the beer, I would boil that on the separate side pot and then add that back in. For hops on this, after I get through this barge and get this into the boil kettle, for hops, I'd probably go with like Fuggles on this, just a classic Belgian style.
Yeah,
hop.
I was gonna say Fuggle. Like, also,
Styrian Goldings would work too.
yeah. Plus, people just need to use more Fuggles. I think it's a really in the United States at least, it's an underutilized hop.
Yeah, it's got all the earthiness of like a Kent Goldings, but it's sweeter and it's not as aggressive.
And it's also priced better.
Yes, it for sure is. Willamette could also work too. Willamette would be another one like that would be a sweeter hop, but on this one I'd probably go like 0.75 of an ounce at 60, and then again at 20 or 15. Kind of, I'd have to look at where the IBUs would fall. This would be assuming a fast cool down. So let's say an immersion chiller on a 5-gallon batch that can cool down in like 8 to 10 minutes. If it was a slow chill, I'd probably have to add that second addition closer to the end of the boil. And then I'd probably use, I like Ardennes. I'd probably use Ardennes, but I'd ferment it at like 72 degrees to get a little bit of the Belgian bubble gumminess.
And Sydney actually has a follow-up question that kind of fits in.
A follow-up question from City.
Yeah.
When doing a reiterated mash / party guile style beer and second runnings are held in the fermentation vessel until later, once you move those second runnings to the boil kettle, do you need to clean and sanitize the fermentation vessel? Not really. If your fermentation vessel was cleaned at that point in time and it's kept in a closed system, you kind of just sanitize it. I guess it's going to depend on how sanitary are you beforehand? Yeah, and how closed the system is. If it's closed, but if it's a closed system and you're pumping, hot liquid into it, I guess it kind of depends.
I to be on the safe side, I would, but you don't necessarily have to.
You got an hour to build bacteria is what you're kind of looking at. So,
and then.
Yeah, you could probably get away without doing it if you're an entirely closed system and it's sanitized before the first stuff goes in. If it's entirely closed, meaning you're pumping it in a closed system, pumping it out with CO2 and then keeping it closed, and then pumping your new stuff back in, you're probably fine. And then
since I think we're just going to dive into questions at this point in time, since I don't have any more on Brunch. Well, on Brunch Beers, a lot of people actually mentioned carbonated meats.
Oh, yeah.
Or ciders. I know Trailbreaker does some fun cider. They do actually do a mimosa cider.
Yeah, that could be really good. I could see like grapes being in there too.
Yeah, so yeah, there's some fun options. And when you go, those of you who, well, it's probably too late for most of you to do Mother's Day brunches with your moms now.
Yeah, no, they can still do it. I'm still going to one later. Oh, also, Seven Sotomayor, you got to make sure that you're coordinating with Matt so that we time the live stream on a time that you're able to watch.
Yep, message me on Discord, Stefan, so...
That could just be a Sunday. We could probably just do it on a Sunday.
Okay, yeah, that would...
Instead of our normal live stream, just start a little bit earlier,
and we have a Sky showing up, so...
Hi, Sky.
So I'm going to jump back up a little bit. We have Shane Killen. Any tips for brewing clean beers with Lutra if you don't have cooling temperature control? My tip... Buy a mini fridge. They are not that expensive, and that's what I've done.
Yeah.
And you can just throw it in there. You do have to build, most mini fridges, you do have to build like a little shelf just based off the cooling unit. But buy a mini fridge. They're like, I think here in the United States, especially in the fall, they're like $60.
Yeah. Getting into pressure fermentation will help too. If the cooling is the issue though, I mean, honestly, doing a shallow pan method or doing a cool ship probably would get the job done. Just a thought. I haven't tried it. I think an open ferment with Lutra would be interesting, actually. We can't do it here because we have bacteria everywhere, but I think an open ferment with Lutra would work really well.
I was going to say, I might be trying that soon with some stuff
Yeah.
might have access to.
If you have enough nutrients, though, Lutra ferment really clean, even if you're fermenting at like 90 to 95 degrees. And so what I like to do with my Lutra beers is just chill as good as you can down to that like 100-ish degrees and then put it in a cool area and then let it rip.
Clarifying agents, you can also use some clarifying agents.
Yeah, like enough time and clarifiers, and they'll clear out pretty good.
And then Sean, any suggestions on adding horseradish and habanero to your stout? Which also, that just sounds really fun.
Horseradish, very, very interesting. The only time that I've done it, I did it with a gin tincture, and that was for the Octopus Willet beer. Yeah. Which I totally won in spirit, even though Tim won in other things. But I've made a really good octopus sour. It just didn't taste like octopus at all. Mm-hmm. but
which
we
is
used
why you
horseradish
didn't
in it.
win technically, but
Yeah.
it was still probably that was a really good beer.
That's one of the tastier sours that I've made, actually. And the horseradish came through. Everything except for the octopus you could taste. But it was a sushi beer. So if you haven't watched that Willet beer, I use wasabi in that, and that's a good reference for you to go back.
Actually, go watch that and say that you're watching it from the future.
Yes.
Let's just
Reasons.
Let's just go make that video trend again.
But yeah, watch that. It's a good horseradish. Well, it was wasabi, but it was like American wasabi, which is horseradish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would kind of take the same thing. In terms of habaneros can go in two different places. You can cross-slice them if you don't really care about calculating in your heat. Cross-slice them, add them in at Whirlpool, and you'll get some spice, and it won't all break down. Or you can make a tincture with those, and then you'll get a more subtle spice. It's a little bit more controlled. So
and if you do the tincture, I actually do recommend just doing a quick like roast in the oven on them.
Yeah.
Just to caramelize some of because hot peppers are technically a fruit.
Yeah.
So you can caramelize some of the sugars on them to
get a little torchy. Boop boop.
Yep. I was gonna say
solid.
just a little bit slow in the oven. That's how I've always done my pepper beers. Was that little bit of caramelization there? Just because again, I like to it adds that complexity of flavor, and beer needs more caramelization.
Yeah.
More Maillard reactions.
Cider rum wasabi is nice. Reverend KY, make a cider rum wasabi and then send it to me.
Mm-hmm. I'm
excited for a Reverend KY cider box.
What styles would work for horseradish? Speaking of horseradish,
octopus sours work really well, as we found out.
Or sours in general. I don't think it needs to be octopus if you can't taste it.
Sours in general, kettle sour styles also saves yourself a lot of time during brew day. Heffy with chamoy rim, drip, tahine rim, and spicy V8. Mm-hmm. Also goes great with horseradish. Yeah, that's a good style. That goes well with it.
Nope.
Jess, you should have a key. Yeah. In Nevada County, Meadery has a couple of habanero offerings.
Yeah, and you should send that spicy meat to us.
Yes, do it.
Oh, also, 77, we do Shams Am guy. Actually, I might crack open one of your beers here in a moment, since we have a bunch of your beer.
Do it. I'm digging this Pilsner. The other night, I made a guacamole with horseradish and habanero, and was drinking a chocolate stout. Oh, interesting. Normally, guacamole I can see not being good with a stout, but I like the idea of horseradish with a stout, so now I'm kind of interested in habanero. Okay, and there's some sweetness in there. I don't know. That's interesting. Okay, I am.
What's interesting?
So drinking a guacamole. So he made a guacamole with horseradish and habanero, and was drinking a chocolate stout. I see habanero going with so many bright fruity flavors, and I can see horseradish kind of building on that. Chocolate stout, it's the guacamole. Everything else that I put in guacamole, I can't see, like, because I put like a little bit of garlic in mine. I put like
I was gonna say onion. I can't see the
saltiness. Onion.
Onion. Actually, I can't see onion in beers too much either because of the oil, their oil contents. And
we did onion in beer at one point in time.
Well, of course you guys did.
Here's green onions, little chive shavings. Matt, haven't been to Goat Fest before. Do we need to meet up beforehand to get a couple of bottles swapped, or will you be able to after you? Will you be able to bring? Can you bring beers in?
I've never been there, so message me on Discord and we can organize.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Any new Willet Beer episodes coming out? If we can get our life organized, and if Ryan can stop being in school, then yes. But we don't have anything in the works just yet. We've kind of had to discontinue that until we can get more consistent.
Me and Warren want to do it.
Yeah.
Like me and Warren actually want to go head to head.
We got to get the media team firing on all cylinders to be able to put that together. And currently we're a little bit behind on media work. Esteban Andre Z, hello folks, good morning. Could I have some clarity? Problems in my beers if I reuse my uni right after emptying it? It's a little yeast in the cone. Depends on how you empty it. If it's all sanitary going in, like.
Depends on how close your system is again.
Yeah, if it's a closed system, you should be good. I mean, if I would be totally okay making a blonde emptying the blonde out of the racking arm and then pumping an IPA right into the bottom of that and reusing the yeast?
I was gonna say breweries kind of do that, and if it's the same beer, like they've done that, you don't want to do it too often because then you can have some weird mutations in the yeast. But
yeah, it's totally doable and saves you a lot of headache.
I know that when I brewed my coffee IPA with Black Label, we actually put the IPA directly onto their Darkness Stout base.
That's right.
And it turned out really good.
I really enjoy blending incredibly expensive barrel-aged stouts with like cheap light lagers. That's a secret hobby of mine. Rugelaberiffs. Happy Mother's Day to you, mother truckers and your ladies. Like the stream, you nerds. Wife, if you're watching, Rugelglyphs just said Happy Mother's Day to you too. Jimmy J, I think the horseradish could work in a Belgian beer, maybe a Belgian stout with more phenolic yeast.
Ooh.
So we're going. If the phenolic comes across more black pepper than clove, maybe the clove I could see being pretty off-putting. But
yeah, that'd be something to test at least.
I can't think of saying the word or the words off-putting without the Between Two Ferns with Mockingjay Girl.
Oh, Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer, whatever her last name is. You should be off-putting because you're fat. You shouldn't eat more pudding. Good to do about 7 generations. Yeah, you better.
I love how we just have Jess giggling in the background because of that.
Reverend KY, you try that 7 generations. I believe in you.
Well, no, that's how many? Is that 7 generations worth of yeast?
Yeah, if your system's really clean, then yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know exact, but yeah, it depends on how clean your system is. But I know that you can get some really funky mutations, and
I found Sky. Caleb Janicic. Caleb, type how to pronounce your name. Belgian Strong Dark, 11.5% forced carb, then bottle or add sugar to naturally ferment in bottles. If I'm being realistic, I'm probably going to force carb and then bottle. That said,
forced carbing and then bottling is way better because if you just bottle carb, you run the risk of bottle bombs.
Yeah, I mean bottle bombs, and then also for me, I'm like 11.5%. I don't trust my yeast to be consistent. Just jumping into 11.5% to ferment and carbonate. Like if it's done right, that's probably the tastier way to do it. Worth the risk? For me, no. On the commercial scale, I'm probably just going to force carb and then bottle out of that. But if you do it correctly, if everything works out the way you want it to, then the bottle conditioned ones will taste better. I'll say that. But that said, 11.5%, that's hard to get yeast going at.
Why are we only at 19 likes? Smash the like button.
Yeah, you just bitch slap that like button.
And I think someone messaged me on Discord.
Reverend KY,
Nope.
Cuteness Everdeen. It's fair. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Jess, why did you lock Sky out? Speaking of barrel age, 2 weeks ago had 2017 Fremont Brewing Dark Star. So good. Genus Itch.
Okay. Good to know. We're going to keep butchering your name, Caleb, because we have the memory when it comes to the names of a goldfish.
I keep wanting to say Genisic.
I know.
But it's Genisic.
Yeah, and Sean, I don't know if he called it, but Dark Star is a really good. I actually think that's one of the better. Dark Star is one of the better Fremont barrel beers.
That's right. All right, speaking of moms, our brewery moms are here. And they are totally ready to introduce themselves on the live stream. And you guys can find out who will be at the Washington Beer Fest. That you guys can probably get some beer delivered to you from one of them or Matt. Or Warren, maybe. Haven't figured out the entire party gang. But
AK Adam and Reverend, you guys should go to this beer fest, mostly because I want to hang out and drink beer with you.
Yeah. But if you would like beer, they're going to talk to you about them going over there. And if you would like beer and would like to help house them during the event through donating to their Airbnb, we will pay you back in beer and or merchandise and or goodies from the homebrew supply store. So it's a win-win for you.
And there's the live stream so you guys can see people's.
Ooh.
This is our beer mother Sky and then beer mother Jess.
Hi everyone. My name is Sky. This is Jess. Here, we should drink beer while we're talking about this. So we are going to the Washington Brewers Festival in Seattle. This is the first year that Genus will be at this beer festival. It's the biggest one in the state of Washington, so we're super stoked to be there. We're going to be bringing some really fun stuff, hard root beer, some of our seltzers, a wit beer. So we're pretty excited to be there. It is the 17th through the 19th of June, Father's Day weekend, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Because it is a little bit on the pricier side, if you would like to donate to our PayPal, I think that I've decided we're going to raffle off a beer kit up to $50 of your choice for all the people who donate to fund our Beer Fest adventures.
Yeah, help get us there. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
And you can also inquire. What's the asking
You're
questions
not
thing?
on camera, Peter.
Also, you can inquire about anything else that we have in the store, beer wise, kit wise, all that stuff. As long as we'll make it worth your while. Just help us get there and help these two lovely ladies and lovely Warren and Matt also serve you beer.
We're going to live stream from the Beer Fest as well, so you can see all that we're doing there and kind of like be in the action, even if you're not in Washington. And we can bring anything with us to the west side for those of y'all who live over in Seattle or stop into Spokane and see us.
Yeah, we'll have lots of stickers, coasters, maybe t-shirts. We'll see.
And beer, most
Yes,
importantly.
lots and lots and lots of beer.
Plus, we love supporting ladies in the beer industry. So, we're really stoked that it's going to be us going over there.
Any questions on that, or do you guys just want to, are you guys just game to? Yeah. I was asking them if they're good. They're good to go.
The people. Asking the people.
I'm very affluent, by the way, on live streams. You know this.
Yeah.
I was going
I'm
to say
pretty much a gangster.
We're a little thrown off without Tim here.
I'm not.
We,
This is how I always act.
we miss
Woot.
Tim, but we love Peter.
That's because I'm taller
Hey,
than Tim.
Lisa says woot woot.
Woot woot.
Hey, Lisa. This is our live stream debut, so,
Yeah.
Yeah. So also,
Hope I look okay.
PayPal link. Where are we gonna post the PayPal link?
PayPal link. What
I
is the
don't
PayPal
even
link?
know where it is.
Have you
on
made the PayPal
computer.
link?
No, we have a PayPal.
We have a PayPal. I don't know what it is though.
Yeah, we're super
Oh,
organized.
Genus Brewing. We'll post it at the description of this chat, and then we'll also
Yeah.
probably do some updates over the course of the week. If you are currently on the
And
live
they'll
stream,
probably post it on Instagram.
yeah, if you're currently on the live stream, you can meet up with Matt on Discord, and Matt will hand you the PayPal link. If you are not currently on,
I'll make it a pinned post in the Discord itself.
okay, so there'll be a pin post on our Discord. Check that out, and we'll also put the Discord link, the current up-to-date Discord link, in the description of this video if you're watching it not live.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm actually grabbing the Discord link to post it in right now because I am on top of things.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you donate to fund our Beer Fest adventures, because it is a little expensive to go over there, but we're really stoked, we will raffle off a beer kit, up to $50, probably a 5-gallon beer kit.
Yep.
And I'll put together whatever ingredients you want for whatever style you want. So, yeah, and we can pick it up either in Spokane or we can bring it with us to Seattle.
Wherever KY, yes, the
It's gonna
super
be
chat will
awesome.
work. Super chat will work. Honestly, if you just want to donate, if you want to buy something on Amazon too as a surprise, then that'll work too. We'll make it work.
Oh, yes, by the way, thank you for the potato gun.
That was Adam Chumley. Yep.
Whoever got us the potato gun, that was the first thing I put on the Amazon wish list, and I'm really stoked that we got it in. So we're just like waiting. We're waiting for the right moment to,
Probably after all this rain stops.
yeah. I mean, we might bring it with us to Beer Fest. Who knows?
Turn it into a shirt
Things
cannon.
happen.
I don't think you can. Unless you do your
I'd rather
tanks.
just shoot the
Your tanks could
competition
probably-
with potatoes.
With potato.
What do you mean competition?
Yes. Yeah.
From Valley Cup.
If you
Nobody's competition.
if you do come to Beer Fest, it is important you stop by our booth because there is like a kind of friendly competition between the breweries that are there in Seattle over the weekend, where the folks with the most tokens like kind of get bragging rights, I guess. So we're excited. We'll have 2 hard seltzers. I think Tim was talking about maybe a lavender lemonade one, hard root beer, a wit beer. We'll bring the Jerry's Red.
Glitter. Our
What
beer
else?
will
Oh.
have glitter.
Hey,
We're gonna
Reverend.
put sparkles.
Reverend, thank you for the $20 towards the cause.
Thank you.
Yay! Progress.
It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, we're I'm super excited. Oh, we're gonna bring a sour milkshake IPA.
Yum.
We're going to bring the blueberry sour. Yeah, Tim has some exciting things.
And if
in
you're,
mind and-
I was gonna say, and if you're not going to Beer Fest, but you still want to come say hi, I'll be more than happy to meet up for brunch with people or at breweries outside of the Beer Fest, personally.
Yeah.
So
Make friends.
make friends,
Yeah.
come say hi, give us more money.
Give us
Yes. Please and thank you. More money.
yeah.
Give us beer.
And, for all of our friends who work at breweries, we're excited to see everyone again after almost 2.5 long years of no beer festivals.
Sad day.
Yeah, it's the longest I've ever gone not at a beer festival. So, yeah.
Nathan McVeigh goes to the Beer Fest every year, but can't make it this year.
Boo.
We'll miss you. Just meet up with Matt outside of it, or
We'll drink
order
one for you,
outside of it.
Nathan.
Or Nathan, come over to Avista Stadium's Beer Fest in September-ish range
Yeah,
here in
make a road trip this
Spokane.
way.
Yeah.
We'll count your participation.
We are always here to drink beer. Talk about beer.
If you guys got any other questions for our lovely ladies of the beer industry, or for me, we got about
By the way,
5 more minutes of the live stream, so
yeah, real quick question for the ladies. What do you guys think of the stout that you're drinking? Since this is a homebrewer stout.
Oh, it's a homebrew stout. It's very good. Whose stout is it?
It's a 77 Trans Am guy.
77 Trans Am guy, good job.
Oh.
I'm actually drinking it and I don't like dark beer, so that's a good sign.
Reverend, and it's not truly Seattle, it's in Redmond.
Yeah. It's in Redmond.
Close
The traffic can be a little bit shady. I would recommend getting just a Lyft or an Uber. That way you don't have to pay for parking at the beer
Well,
festival.
Reverend is Whidbey Island, so he's coming from
Oh.
a completely different spot.
Yeah, no worries.
That's why I was telling him. I was like, hey, this is Redmond, not Seattle.
Yeah. We could always do like a like those park and rides, you know, where you like park your car and then call. I don't know. I usually take a Lyft or an Uber after we drop off the kegs. That way we don't have to worry about parking, and you don't have to like pay for any of the parking, and the lines to get in are crazy long. But it's so worth it. It's the biggest beer fest in Washington, and you're gonna have some really awesome beers. Oh, and by the way, we're one of only 4 Spokane breweries going over to the beer festival.
What
so.
are the other 3?
The other 3 are our friends at Iron Goat, No Lie, and River City.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And Sean, I think it's just the Washington Brewers Fest. Is that correct for the name?
Yep, Washington Brewers Festival, June 17th through 19th. On that Friday, I believe the Friday is adults only, and it's 4:30 to 9. And then Saturday, I want to say 12 to 8. And then Sunday, 11:30 to 5:30. And I believe Saturday and Sunday are both kid-friendly. There is wine, cider, seltzers. There's also non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah, weren't they gonna do like a root beer tent?
Yeah, there's a root beer tent because kids are allowed on Saturday and Sunday, as well as anyone who wants to DD and just like be a part of the fun. I think DD tickets are only $5, so you can just like go hang out with your friends, be responsible, and watch them drink beer and do weird stuff while you're sober.
Sky, do you know what chat you're talking to?
What?
Do you know what chat you're talking to?
I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to make it sound fun to like have a DD. But you know,
But
like
they are
it's-
not DDs.
Yeah. That's why I get a Lyft or an Uber.
But also,
And food trucks.
Oh, there's
no,
so
it's
many food
important
trucks.
to advertise the DD stuff because
Yeah, responsibility.
all of us, we're gonna have to find a responsible DD, and to do that, you're gonna have to coerce someone and make it sound fun for them.
Also, USMC Mike 1, thank you so much for the super chat.
Yep.
Jess appreciates it a bunch.
Yay! More money.
That's $30 since you guys have been on.
I know, we're killing
Yay!
it, dude.
I know. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. So I don't know. Have you guys
Hey, Reverend,
talked
catch
about?
up. Catch up, Reverend.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to talk about ladies in the beer industry for a minute.
Yeah.
Go.
Just because feminism is cool. And yeah, so I started working at Genus back in September or August. I've worked at other breweries in the past. Shout out to Paradise Creek Brewery in Pullman, Washington. Go Cougs. And Mountain Town Brewing Company in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Fire Up Chips. And so I started those breweries, and we love, I don't know, I just like supporting other ladies in the beer industry and
Sky, if you don't know, feminism in the beer industry is what feminism is sometimes people try to mansplain things.
Oh yeah, tell me what feminism is, Peter. I love it. No, we have fun. Peter's actually really great about not mansplaining, so we love that. And yeah, it's always funny when you are hauling kegs around or setting up jockey boxes and the guys offer to help you and you're like, no, dude, I know more about this than you do probably. So yeah, it's a good time.
We're using little tools to take apart leaking taps and cleaning lines and stuff that we aren't expected to know.
Yeah, but we know.
Yeah.
I was going to say, me and Warren are legitimately only going over there to look pretty.
We know things.
They're the ones talking. They're the ones going to be talking up the beer.
Yeah,
me
we're
and Warren
pouring
are
the
look
beer,
pretty.
setting everything up. We're just bringing boys to look pretty and to hustle
Beer
and get
muscle.
people over to our tent.
Kegs are heavy.
We can do it.
Well, yeah, but
We can do it.
But if she
be
doesn't
nice to
have
put
to
them
do
to work.
it,
Yeah, if I don't have to do it, that's preferable. I can.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I'm a strong, independent woman. However, it would be nice
Yeah,
to have some extra muscle around.
Yeah, and as you said, to be fair, the beer community does help out each other all the time. I just think that, for certain folks, we're not expected to know as much about beer, so it's just really fun when you can flex those mind muscles.
Or we're not expected to like certain styles.
Yeah, but I like all beer. Actually, I have a house rabbit. His name is Barley Wine. And, sorry, I couldn't, go on live stream without talking about barley wine.
I was waiting for the bunny to
I
come
know.
up.
I know, so we really love beer. Barley wine is, of course, one of my favorite styles. The beer, not the bunny, but he's also very cute. And, yeah, I love almost all styles of beer, with the exception of, American Hefeweizens and Wits. I like European styles better, I would say.
I'm all about those IPAs.
Yeah.
Smack me in the face with bitter.
I was going to say, I usually actually have Jess recommend me IPAs when we're at Steady Flow.
Yeah. Yep, we love IPAs.
So,
But yeah.
Anything else? We got, is there any other questions that came on?
I just want to talk about something. We can just talk.
Yeah, go Pink Boots.
Woo! Go Pink Boots. Yeah, there's not a Pink Boots chapter in Spokane yet.
I was going to say yet.
But hopefully maybe sometime soon in the future. I would love to join it.
I was going to say,
Yeah, let's
Sky,
do it.
talk to Rachel. I'm sure you between you and Rachel.
Yeah.
Because we have a awesome female presence in the beer industry here in Spokane.
Yeah, it's great.
Reverend KY, I'm a cider and a sour deep, and it's not even 10.
I told him to catch up.
You might be beating me?
No, you've had two
Yeah, no,
beers.
I'm winning.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
winning.
that's why I said catch up.
All right, well, I think that's going to cover us. We do have to get opened up, but thanks, and you guys want to tell them to like and subscribe and do all the things?
Yeah,
You
like
do the close
us.
out?
Like us on YouTube. Sorry. I know what? YouTube,
On all the things.
Instagram,
Just like us on all the things. Share us on
Yeah.
all the things.
Facebook,
Tell your friends, your
TikTok?
moms,
TikTok. We have
your
TikTok.
homies.
We have a Discord, which is awesome.
Instagram, Facebook.
It's the best way to get a hold of Matt is Discord.
Yeah.
Discord is legit.
Email
Or if you
us,
find me on... those of you who have found me on Instagram, and you know who you are, that's also a decent way to get a hold of me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We have. I've worked or I've tried the Pink Boots blend beer that other breweries have made. I don't think that we've made one here though. But
No, there was one. It
Sometime
was
maybe.
Precious Things, Humble Abode, Hop Chaos, and
Yep.
someone else.
No,
they
just
did a
those
collab.
three.
Yeah.
Because then there was a second Pink Boots that was TT's and Brick West.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we had two different Pink Boots beers this year.
Cool.
Dope.
Well, thank you all for being here and for bearing with us on our first live stream.
Thanks for the donations as well.
We'll
Yeah,
try to
thanks
get
for
them
the
on more
donations.
because they're going to have fun on the live streams.
Yes. If you feel inspired to further donate to our adventures, that would be awesome to get us over to Seattle. And we'll definitely have that raffle either during, before, or after the beer fest. And yeah, follow us on social media and we'll be there.
Yep, I was gonna say if donate to get them on the live stream more too.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a struggle getting here so early on a Sunday, but we did it. We did it for the people.
And I am